birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear lady. Happy birthday to you.
How old are you now?
Okay, we got it.
But the lighting wasn't right. We gotta go again.
One more time.
Yay!
What's the cake?
To show you what life with you has meant to me. So as I read the words and as you see the pictures, you will see what you have meant to me over the years. If you want to gather around, maybe you can share the pictures with us. Here is the photo, and it shows Eddie and I when we fell in love before he proposed to me. We both knew we were going to get married. We didn't know yet when, but we were in love. And it says, I followed my dreams, they led me to love. I followed my heart, and it led me to you. Happy 84th birthday, Eddie. I want to speak of unspoken feelings, of unsung love songs that should be sung to boldly voice the love and pride that I take in you. I love that you support me in all of my endeavors. My heartfelt dreams. Turn the page. I'm grateful for the pride that you take in me, despite my limitations. I love that you assist me in my battles. You are still my lock and bar, my knight in shining armor. I appreciate your intelligence and your wit. I love your sense of humor, and I love the way you make me laugh. I'm glad that you are the father of my sons, and I love the way you love them. I came to you at 20 as a bride. You came to me, the voice of experience, my husband. I have spent almost 50 years of my life with you, and I am glad. I love your shape and the way God formed you, and I take pride in your sense of style and dress. I love the way you love our grandkids, sports, politics, and geography. I marvel at your knowledge of deep space and astrology. We are both excitable and excited. We have never been boring nor bored. I'm glad to have known you, gladder still to have loved you. I pray that God grants us many more tomorrow. But whatever the future, please know that I am grateful for our time together, my friend, my lover, my husband. Thank you for the gift of loving and for making my life meaningful. This is written with all my love. Now, this is our trip in time. This is when Eddie and I fell in love. Come around so you can see the pictures. This is when Eddie and I fell in love. We didn't set the date yet, but we knew we were going to get married. Remember that, darling?
We were on the boardwalk in
This is when we were on the boardwalk in 1964.
Coney Island.
Coney Island, 1964. This was at the meeting of our family at the engagement party. Remember that? The house smelled of love, gardenias and roses. This is a minute after we were married. Look at the smiles on our faces.
That's Stanley Brown.
I was at the wedding. I just want Joan to know.
Me too.
You were there.
I was there. That's Stanley.
What wedding?
Your
Our
wedding.
wedding 50 years ago.
And Uncle Eddie
There's
used to
pictures
take
of
us
me
to
in that
Freedom
wedding.
Land
This
before
is
that.
on our
Remember? He don't remember. I tell him all the time. You told me. I don't remember.
Before you got married,
I told
took
you.
us all to Freedom Land. I'll tell you what I remember. You weren't there.
Remember that suit? And these are the pearls he gave me on our wedding day. I still have them. This is baby Stephen. What a baby he was. The maid called him me they, and she wanted to take him to Mexico. I fired her the next day. She said he more looked like her, and he didn't like me. I kissed her the next day.
I'll have one of those with mint.
This picture means everything.
And a coffee?
Eddie took us to
You need
Las
sugar.
Vegas.
Let me have one more like that.
Eddie took us to Las Vegas, and Bob Boulay was singing "If Ever I Could Leave You" from
Would you listen? It's the best line.
And who does he remind you of?
Reminds me of my dad. They're like twins. We love you, Uncle Eddie. Okay, I remember. It must have been 1962 or 63, and Uncle Eddie came to Brooklyn in his Cadillac convertible. Remember that? That convertible Cadillac? And he took a whole bunch of nieces and nephews to Freedom Land in New Jersey. You remember
Bronx.
It was in the Bronx.
Freedom Land?
She said New Jersey.
Palisades.
No, but we went to Freedom Land. Are you right? It was in New
No, you
Jersey.
did go to Freedom, and I remember.
Palisades.
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember Alan Brown was there. And I think Stanley Brown was there. A bunch of the phallus.
You're right,
people.
Jack.
And,
Put him in the convertible, right?
right? You weren't there. I went to Freedom Land. Anyway, I just remember.
And we had a good time.
I remember how cool Uncle Eddie was for taking all the kids because my father never took us to Freedom Land. Or anywhere else.
For work, he used to take.
He took us to the racetrack, I remember. He took us to the
All right.
racetrack. But Uncle Eddie took us to Freedom Land.
Thank you, Uncle Ed.
We first came to California, and Uncle Eddie was already out for years, and we were building Daddy's store. And we used to have to ride with Uncle Eddie in the morning down Olympic to take him to his warehouse, and then Daddy would take his car to go to the store, and then we'd have to pick him up. And Grandpa used to go with us. And Uncle Eddie's in the right lane, flying.
Oh, I got another story.
Snaking the guy. Snaking everyone on the road.
I remember in 1988, we went to a Dodger game, and it was the World Series.
I was there.
And Uncle Eddie drove. Joel was there. I was there.
Steve Warner was there.
Steve Warner and maybe a couple of other people. And we saw Kurt Gibson hit his great home run.
Right.
And I saw you on TV that night.
And it was 1988.
Remember?
But the scariest part of that night was when we were leaving Dodger Stadium and Uncle Eddie was driving in the parking lot. And he didn't stop for anybody. It was a great moment. We had a good time.
When Eddie and I were first dating, really first dating, like on our first, second, and third date, I used to wear an imitation Persian jacket with an imitation fox that was so old and ratty, and I thought it was the most sophisticated thing I ever saw in my life. And he would say, "Where'd you get that jacket?" I said, "Isn't it really funny?" And 4 days later, there was a box on the black Cadillac seat of his car. His cousin Sandy worked for a furrier. And I opened the box, and inside it was a mink stole that he had purchased for me.
On the fourth date? I would have went out with him.
I took it up to my mother, and she slapped me across the face, and she said, "You're not taking a mink from somebody you're not engaged to." I kept the mink. I kept the guy.